So good morning students. Today class we are going to the next chapter called electromagnetic induction. So shortly it is called as what? EMI. So what is this electromagnetic induction? Is very simple. In the previous chapter we learned that when a charge starts to move in a conductor or it is flowing some current, means what is current? The flow of charges. So the charges starts to move in a conductor, it is going to produce current as well as magnetic field around the plane perpendicular, right? Because this Oersted explains what? When current flows through a conductor, it produces magnetic field along its perpendicular direction. Now, one scientist, you have come across this scientist name in several times in your school level. His name is what? Michael Faraday. He got a doubt that can the reverse process be possible? Means when charges starts to flow in a conductor, it is going to produce magnetic field. Now, by changing current or by changing magnetic field or by magnetic field, can we produce current? So, a current is producing magnetic field. Can the magnetic field in turn produces? Can the magnetic field in turn produces electric field or current? Let's see. He got that doubt, so he want to perform an experiment. So whether it is the process, the reverse process will be available. That concept is called what? Electromagnetic induction. So the basic definition of this chapter is what? The phenomenon of inducing EMF or inducing electric field due to change of magnetic flux. Due to change of magnetic flux is called EMI. Means what? Electromagnetic induction. So the phenomenon of inducing EMF due to change of magnetic flux is called what? Electromagnetic induction. What is magnetic flux? The first question, right? What we get. As you know, electric flux, in the same way the magnetic flux. What it gives? Electric flux gives what? The total number of electric lines of force passing normal to the surface of conductor is called what? Electric flux. In the same way, the total number of magnetic lines of force passing normal to the surface of conductor gives what? Magnetic flux. So we can say that the total number of magnetic lines of force passing normal to surface of conductor. The total number of magnetic lines of force passing normal to surface of conductor is called magnetic flux. It is represented by letter phi b is equals to what? B bar dot A bar. That is equals to what, ma? B A cos theta, where theta is the angle made by the magnetic field with normal. That is very important here. Theta is the angle made by magnetic field with the normal, not it is the angle between magnetic field and area of cross section. So it is measured in magnetic field is measured in what? Weber. The center of magnetic field is Weber. The symbolic representation is what? WB. Because if you write as W, it becomes what, na? So Weber is what? WB. Now, if you want to write the dimensional formula, so the dimensional formula for this one is ml square t power minus 2 a power minus 1. This magnetic flux is a what? Scalar quantity, because it is going to give the information about the number of magnetic lines of force, magnitude of number of lines of force passing normal to the surface of conductor. Now, what we are going to do? We are going to change magnetic field or magnetic flux, because magnetic flux is equals to what? B bar dot A bar. If we change that one, it is going to produce what? We have to verify whether we are going to induce EMF or current or not. Let's see. Now, let us do an experiment. First experiment is coil and magnet experiment. Coil and magnet experiment. So, listen carefully. Let us take a coil. Let it be a circular coil connected to a galvanometer. Let us take a plug key, no problem. Now, this is bar magnet. Now, so this is a circular coil, not current is flowing. Now, we are going to change magnetic field. We are going to change magnetic field, so that we are getting a doubt that can we produce EMF. So, to measure current, whether current is flowing or not, we cannot test by touching it, right? Yes. So, what we have to do? We connected a galvanometer which is used to detect the current, and a plug key is placed. Okay, right. So, to produce magnetic field, we brought a bar magnet, north pole and south pole. Now, both are at rest. Can the magnetic field be changed? Yes. No, not at all. At this point, what the magnetic field is produced by this one remains same. So, there is no change in magnetic flux. What he has done? Me only, for example, this is bar magnet, I am bringing towards the coil. When I brought a bar magnet towards the coil, the current starts to flow in one direction. In this direction. I have taken back. When I taken back, the galvanometer shows the deflection in opposite direction. So, what we observe that when there is a movement in the bar magnet, it is inducing current. When you brought towards, it is showing current in one direction. When you taken away, it is showing the current in opposite direction. So, if next what he has done, if increase the velocity, means I brought with more speed, then the current, the deflection in the galvanometer is more. When I taken slowly, the deflection is very less. Means what we observe here, by changing a magnetic field, means why we are changing magnetic field? Because when a bar magnet is moved towards or far away, we are changing magnetic field, right? So, you are observing the deflection in the galvanometer, the current is flowing through the circular coil. So, here we observe 2 points. When a bar magnet is brought near to a coil, it shows a deflection in the galvanometer is one direction, and if you change its direction, if you taken away, the deflection in the galvanometer also changes its direction. If you move with more velocity, the deflection in the galvanometer is more. If you move with less velocity, the deflection in the galvanometer is less. So, this is what coil and magnet experiment. Now, I do not have any coil. Assume that. Coil and coil experiment. Now, I do not have bar magnet. What I have taken is one circular coil connected to galvanometer. There is one more coil. In this, current is flowing because it is connected to a battery and connected with plug key. Both are placed at some distance. Why we have taken this coil, current carrying coil? We proved now. A current carrying coil produces magnetic field along its axial line. For example, the current is flowing here in anti-clockwise current. There is no production of current here. There is no induction of current. What we have done? I plug in. When I plug in, what happens? Slowly the current in the coil increases. then we observe a deflection in the galvanometer. Then we observe deflection in the galvanometer. When I plug out, the current doesn't fall to zero at a time, right? The current slowly comes to rest. So when the current slowly comes to rest, the current changes, the magnetic field also changes, which causes current to flow in this galvanometer. So when the current is flowing, it induces one direction current, and when the current is decaying, the direction of the current also changes. In the same way, by moving the coil towards and far, also we can induce current in this circular coil. So these are the experiments he has done. What are the experiments he has done? He has taken a bar magnet. When you brought towards, it induces current in the coil in one direction. When you take it away, it induces current in the same coil in opposite direction. Second case, the bar magnet is replaced by a coil, which is current carrying coil. So as you know that current carrying coil also produces magnetic field. So what we can say that by displacing this current carrying coil towards and far, we are inducing magnetic field. If the relative velocity between the coil and coil and magnet increases, the deflection in the galvanometer also increases. If the relative velocity decreases, the deflection in the galvanometer decreases. And one more point what you observe, when you plug in the coil, the current starts to increase. When the current starts to increase, it shows deflection in one direction. When you plug out, the current starts to decay, it shows the current in opposite direction. Means while going the current in a circuit or decaying the current in a circuit also, it induces current in the circular coil. So from all these, by summation of all these points, what are the points we observed? All these points, what that? Due to relative velocity between coil and magnet or coil, it induces current. When you brought a coil near to when you brought a magnet or coil near to a coil with having galvanometer, it shows deflection. While growing current or decaying current also, it is showing current in opposite directions. So summation all these things. Who has done this experiment? Michael Faraday. So Michael Faraday has explained this phenomena as one law. That law is called as what, ma? Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. What the Faraday's law of electromagnetic? First law. Whenever there is change in flux, either by changing magnetic field or changing its direction or velocity, it induces EMF. Whenever there is change in flux, it induces EMF. Until means it will last until the EMF lasts until there is no change of flux. If the flux remains constant or there is no change of flux, there is no EMF. That's it, my explanation. Now, how this EMF depends? This EMF depends on what? This induced EMF directly proportional to the induced EMF is depending upon which one, ma? This induced EMF is directly proportional to what? Rate of change of magnetic flux in opposite direction. In opposite direction. That is what EMF is directly proportional to d phi b by dt. This is what? Rate of change of magnetic flux. That implies E is equals to minus d phi b by dt. So, the negative sign indicates that what? This negative sign indicates what? The induced EMF opposes the change of magnetic flux. That induced EMF opposes the change of magnetic flux. So, this is what? Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So, the negative sign is given by one more law, that is called Lenz's law. What is Lenz's law and what is its significance? Also very important. Let us see what this Lenz's law explained. What is induced EMF? So, what is Lenz's law? So, the statement, let us see that first, and how it comes, let come to know later. The polarity of induced EMF is such that it tends to oppose the change of magnetic flux that produced in it. So, what it explains that here, what is EMI? The phenomenon of inducing EMF due to change of magnetic flux. What this law is saying that the induced EMF opposes the change of flux. See what a tragedy. The EMF has produced because of what? Change in magnetic flux. Now, that induced EMF is opposing change of magnetic flux. So, how it happens? Let us see what happens. Let us take a circular coil. So, here I brought a ball magnet towards this circular coil. Now, what happens? When north pole is brought toward the circular coil, it is inducing anti-clockwise current. It is in which current? Anti-clockwise current. Now, the current is flowing in which direction? Anti-clockwise. So, we should remember Fleming's right hand thumb rule. What that? For example, this is a current carrying conductor, and if I hold this one, if this current carrying conductor shows the direction of current, then the fingers that curl around it gives what? Direction of magnetic field. So, the reverse process can also happen. Here the current is flowing in which direction? Anti-clockwise current. So, the direction of magnetic is what? North pole, right? So, the direction of magnetic is what? North pole. So, it induces North pole here. Now, we are bringing which pole here? We are bringing North pole. Here it induces which pole? North pole. What happens? Both will repel each other or not? See, this induced EMF is opposing change of magnetic flux because it induces which pole here? North pole. So, it doesn't want to North pole to come here, so it will repel, means it opposes the motion of bar magnet, means it opposes the change of flux. Okay, it is opposing, and then now what we done? We are taken away. We are taking away our bar magnet towards some other way. So, when the magnetic field is decreasing, what it will do? It change the direction of current or not? Yes, it change the direction of current and it becomes clockwise current. So, clockwise current. So, which pole? South pole. So, now it induces which pole? South pole. It is which pole? North pole. It is moving away. Now, this is south pole, this is north pole. What it will do? It will attract. Means, if it want to come it is opposing. If you want to move away, it is attracting. So what is this doing in both cases? Opposing the motion means opposing change of flux. Yes. Is it right? Next, same way, if you take south pole, you can also say south pole, north pole. If you brought towards, it induces which current? Clockwise current. So a south pole is formed. It will repel. So it opposes change of flux. In the same way, if you take the same bar magnet move away, what happens? It induces anti-clockwise current and induces north pole. It is making the bar magnet to come, to attract. So that's why the Lenz's law explained that the polarity of induced EMF is such that it always tends to oppose the change of magnetic flux that produced in it. Main thing here we should confirm, that is significance of Lenz's law. What is the significance of Lenz's law? Is conservation of energy. Significance of Lenz's law is what ma? Conservation of energy. This is very important concept here. This theoretical concept, not a derivative. What happens here? Before that, there is circular coil, right? It is circular coil. Any current is flowing here? No. When you brought a bar magnet, it is starts to induce current. Okay. Can it is losing any magnetic field here? No. So then, how this current is producing here in this circular coil? Because we know that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one form of energy into another form. So how is it possible here to induce clockwise current in this case? So where the energy is coming and driving the current to flow in this coil is when you are taking away or bringing it towards, we are doing some work done or not? We are doing some work done to make the particle to move towards or away. So this work done is converted into, means our mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So this law has been explained. That's why the significance is called what? Law of conservation of energy. So this is about what? Lenz's law. Very important. So the next class we derive expression for motional EMF and induction. Is it clear? Thank you.